Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today I want to talk about something that's kind of been sitting on my mind here for the last several days. I want to take you back to when I, went in and I checked myself into therapy. Now, a little background there is, I have three little boys, and two out of the three of them have formally been diagnosed with ADHD. And as part of that, we do some medication with both of them, but we also coupled that with therapy. And that isn't just for them, it's also for my wife and I to get educated on how we can best help our kids not only just survive with ADHD, but just to thrive as well. But also to train us as parents how we can best respond. Well, what happened is that, so we were regularly taking my boys to see this particular therapist, and that's when I started having all these panic attacks and my anxiety was through the roof and all that. And finally, I realized that the kids were doing better with therapy. We had some strategies and stuff, but I was dying on the inside. So I temporarily sort of put a hold to them going to the therapist, and I said, hey, can we talk? And so I started taking over the appointments, and I started having conversations with the therapist. What was interesting is I went in there with the mindset that, all of the things that were happening to me, it was sort of like that victim mentality, right? Like everything was happening to me. There's no possible way that I have any responsibility for what's happening. So a little more background is that, my wife had just started going to law school, and I knew that it was going to be really hard going in because, she'd been home raising the kids for the first, 10 years of our marriage. And, admittedly, I got used to that. We were building my career. She was at home. She was taking care of everything. And now all of a sudden we were going to flip that script, and she was going to be going to school. I knew that she was going to be gone most hours of the day. I did my research on what it was like for spouses when their wives go off to law school. And I'll be honest, what I heard was not great. It was not good news that, when a spouse goes off to law school, that the divorce rate actually increases exponentially. And so here I am, it's the first semester of law school, and my wife is gone, long hours of the day, and I'm just not handling that very well. We had one particular instance where it was a Friday, it was the end of a long week. I had a hard week of work, and my wife calls me after school on Friday and says, hey, do you mind if I go out for a drink with friends? Now, in my mind, I had already expected that she was going to get off work. She was going to come home. We're going to have dinner. We're going to relax, and we're going to spend some time together because I hadn't seen her all week. And here she was asking if she could go out to drinks with friends. Now, in this moment, I knew that I didn't want to hold her back, but I knew that selfishly I wanted her home. And I begrudgingly said, sure, go ahead and head out with your friends. Well, that didn't sit well with me. Here I was thinking that, she didn't want to spend any time with me. She's trying to distance herself from me. And I was hurt. I was crushed. I was upset. And I felt like, I just wasn't getting my way. So there's these sort of events just kept happening. And when I checked into therapy and I started talking to the therapist, I started relaying all these events, and I'm just like, she's doing this and she's doing that, and she's choosing her classmates over me, and she's trying to create distance between us. And here's the thing, and this is the thing that I've been noodling on, is that there was a point in the last 2.5 years where I finally realized that the feelings that I had, the emotions that I had, they were my responsibility. I was accountable for them. Now, intuitively, I understand this. And the moment that, at least on the intuition side, I did understand this, things got exponentially better between my wife and I, because I took responsibility for how I was feeling, how I was reacting. And my wife responded in kind. But here's the thing, is that even today, I know that it's true. As long as I take responsibility for my actions, my feelings, how I react to other people, things just get better. But I can't exactly explain why. And that's what I've been noodling on this last week is, Can I get that thought out of my intuition and into words so that I can help other people understand who are in this similar situation where they feel like they're just sort of the victim in these situations? How you can turn that on your head, or turn it on its head, and realize that you have a lot more accountability and responsibility for that situation than you're in than you think. So as I continue to noodle on this, I will share these thoughts with you as I figure out, how to put that intuition into words. But I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. If you have a way to articulate where you're in a situation where you feel like you're being the victim, but you take responsibility for your thoughts and actions, how did that turn out and why? Why did that work out for you? I would love to get your thoughts on this. I'd really love to be able to understand this particular concept deeper, because even when with my dad, I wrote that letter, that confession letter, the thing is that I didn't realize it at the time, but I was taking control of my thoughts, my feelings, my account of the events that happened, and just communicated those. And when I did that, I got a different response out of my dad, something that I never expected to get from him. And that was not only incredible, it was nothing short of a miracle, but yet I don't quite fully understand what happened there. So anyway, if you have something similar like that to share, please drop a comment, get in touch with me, let me know. Let me know a situation in which this has worked out for you. Thanks for listening.